show you everything I planted via seed with absolutely no care in the world. I mean, seeds that I literally just sprinkled onto dirt. Maybe I used my foot to kick it around a little and then kind of just wished for the best. I think a huge pro to plants that can be grown from just tossing seed, direct sowing like that, and just maybe kicking around the dirt is that if you're someone who is easily exhausted, or it's harder for you to bend down or anything like that, it makes it a lot easier to get a lot of plants in the ground and add a lot of beauty, add a lot of functionality, add a lot of food to your garden without too much work. And I think some people might call it chaos gardening, but I think a difference between the seeds that I've observed that are just able to be tossed and enjoyed as they grow versus chaos gardening is it looks a little bit more managed. It doesn't feel, at least for me, as someone who gets easily distracted and easily overwhelmed, it doesn't feel as overwhelming to see, you know, 5 different plants in a very small area all mixed in versus the same plant in an area in a block, if you will. So it feels a lot more manageable. I know a lot more about what's going on there. It's easier to manage the different care requirements and needs of different plants. I think it's a little bit, at least for me, easier on the eyes, easier on the brain than chaos gardening, where I throw, 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 different flowers into a shaker and just toss them and see and hope for the best. So pros to tossing and growing seeds aside, let's talk about the seeds or the plants that I think do well for this in my experience. So the first one is calendula. Calendula is a gorgeous plant that adds such bright beauty to plantings, and it's so easy to grow. You just literally toss it onto soil. You don't even have to cover it, though covering will improve germination. I've had it grow not from covering it. It is prolific in blossoms. It's very easy to collect seeds, so you'll just constantly get more and more every single year. It self-seeds readily. This is all calendula that self-sowed from last year. Not only is it so beautiful in bouquets and in the garden, but you can use it as tea and salves. You can feed it to your chickens. It is such a lovely toss and grow seed, and it's, in my opinion, no fail in my area in zone 6B. We have dill, and this is a wonderful filler in bouquets. It adds a beautiful structural element to any of the garden beds you planted in. And of course, it's absolutely delicious in anything you cook, in salads, over top freshly baked vegetables. It's just a lovely toss and grow option, and truly it has been no fail for me. And you get tons and tons of seed from the flower heads every single year. Plus, you may even get some swallowtails. So we have Monarda fistulosa, or wild bergamot. It does take 2 years to flower. So the first year it's growing, second year it flowers. But it is very easy to toss and grow, and you can use the leaves for tea. It adds a beautiful, tall, floral element to your garden. It's a bee magnet. It's gorgeous, and you could probably add it to bouquets. I haven't done that yet, but definitely a toss and grow option if you're trying to increase pollinators, if you want to grow native plants. Definitely consider this one. Then we have zinnias. These are very easy to grow flowers, and they add a nice bright element to the garden. I really just love them for the flowers. I found that they are very, very easy to toss and grow. Then we have radishes, which are also incredibly easy to toss and grow. Not only provide you with food if you will eat the radish roots, but you can eat the seed pods, the flowers, the flower buds. It's basically nearly all edible, and I think that the seed pods and the flowers are more delicious than the radishes themselves. But they add some flowers to the garden if you let them go to flower, and they're also really easy to toss and grow, and they will help break up soil so that you're ready for planting in the future. If you've got a space where you know you want to grow something later but you don't have anything in there now, radish is perfect for that. We have sweet alyssum, which is just a precious tiny little flower that you can grow, and it's really wonderful for borders. It's great for small places, and I love growing it because not only is it dainty and cute, and it has a wonderfully sweet scent, but my chickens absolutely love eating it. We also have bachelor's buttons, which are a wonderful toss and grow flower. They're beautiful, edible, and add a lovely bright blue color to the garden that you really can't get from other plants. So I really appreciate that deep blue. It's one of my favorite colors, and so I love tossing and growing that, and it's been really easy to grow in that way. So definitely add bachelor's buttons to your list. For me, for seeds to be toss and go friendly, I don't want to have to mix them into any kind of medium. So I don't want to have to mix them into sand or dirt or anything. I really need there to be a large enough amount that I can just put my hand in the bag and toss and go, literally. So that is why I really prefer Everwild, but if you're on a budget, etc., obviously you can always mix your seed with sand, and that way you know where you've sowed things. That just has never worked for me, and I really just prefer things that I, again, just toss and go with and not have to worry or fuss with. Found that bulk pricing of seeds is extremely good at Outside Pride and Everwild. Outside Pride, I think it's only worth it if you're buying anything above a quarter pound. Everwild, I think, just has excellent pricing in general, and you're able to get a lot of unique and native plant seeds that I think is pretty cool. If I had a preference, I would say the best place to order seeds from is Everwild. I had more questionable germination rates with Outside Pride than Everwild. And with Everwild, their packets that their seeds come in are resealable, and Outside Pride, their pouches are not resealable, and that makes it more difficult to store. I just found that really annoying. And so if I were to choose, I would probably say Everwild is a great brand to buy from. This whole bed I threw a bunch of seed onto and hoped for the best, and it took weeks for anything to start sprouting. And this is where I think it's really true that kind of Mother Nature just knows best. So maybe the germination times say, you know, a couple weeks or a couple days, but if you just direct sow, a lot of things will just come up at the right time. And all of that said, I would love to hear what has done well in your garden in toss and grow scenarios. Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you have anything you would like to add to the toss and grow list. And if you want more Zone 6B gardening information, tips, tricks, etc., hit the subscribe button. And all of that said, this is Zone 6